Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here, and I have some really exciting news for Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive. This is actually really cool. The second I heard it, I was just really excited. But basically, with this information, it's going to lower the barrier of entry to competitive Pokemon. That's so exciting, and I'll talk a little bit about it right now. But basically, we got some Sword and Shield coverage from Game Informer that said introducing systems to help players take story team / sentimental transfers. So that'd be like, you transfer your things from Pokemon Home into competitive, and it's a fix for things that require breeding, like personality parameters, and I'm assuming that is nature's as well. So this is really cool because, and I'll read the little interview, but the main reason people play on Showdown is because everything is accessible, everything is there. You don't have to have a game, you don't have to breed and take time. I mean, we all busy, right? I'm not just going to school and coming back anymore, man. I'm not 9 years old anymore. So it definitely takes time to do this, and even just competing in Pokemon itself. And this does lead to people using other measures of either getting their Pokemon or just not using the in-game at all and using Showdown, right? But this is pretty cool because previously, in order to pass down natures, you either had to already have the Pokemon with a nature and then give them an Everstone, and when you breed, the Pokemon after will have that nature, right? But that also requires you to get that Pokemon before with that said nature, and which you can do with maybe Ralts and synchronizing or whatever thing you want to do. But this just helps you, and I'll actually read the little piece, and then I'll give my thoughts on it. But this is by Brian, and Pokemon Sword and Shield have mechanics to let you use your favorite Pokemon competitively. The latest entries in the Pokemon series are making several tweaks in the franchise's long-running conventions, from introducing autosave to getting rid of the experience share, which is interesting. I think I'll go real quick on that, but I think it's like something that you can't turn off now. It's just auto built in. I have no idea what it does. In favor of an automatic solution, Sword and Shield changed. Yeah, in favor of an automatic solution. So yeah, it's just in. Sword and Shield changed several things about the standard play of a Pokemon game. While Game Freak was open about a lot of the behind-the-scenes information surrounding the development of Pokemon Sword and Shield, the team was a bit cagier about a new mechanic it could only tease. All right, so right here, I'm gonna just keep reading it, but. Traditionally in the series, you start with your starter Pokemon, then you catch a lot of Pokemon in the beginning, and those are with you throughout the whole adventure, and the players get attached to them. And this is completely true. Obviously, I love my first Charmander, my first Charizard. I'm sure that's true for all you guys. But a lot of the times they get into the competitive battles and they find they can't actually use those Pokemon, or they're not competitive. So they have to go out and find the exact right Pokemon or breed them in a certain way to make sure they're viable in competitive battle. So this is really cool because obviously they understand where we're coming from with this. This time around, we really want to introduce some systems that help the player be able to take those Pokemon they caught in the beginning and the first one they choose and actually take them straight into competitive battle. There's a lot of hidden parameters to Pokemon that aren't surfaced to a player. We're doing a lot of stuff in the back end, introducing systems that allow players to make sure that Pokemon they want to use in competitive battles are viable. And that is such a, and I'll keep reading in a sec, but that is, I love this. That is such an awesome thing to hear because it's true. And I'll talk a little bit about what it means for competitive and what it means for the in-game people, but it's also pretty cool for those of you that actually like to shiny hunt. I know I actually have a ton of viewers that do like to shiny hunt, and a lot of the times for me personally, well, not only just the time, but it's not usually worth it because what can I do with that Pokemon? It looks pretty, that's fine. I can get one on Showdown in 2 seconds by clicking the shiny button, right? But being able to not only have that effort, and I know like people they do feel this connection to that because they put so much time into it, but being able to potentially make that Pokemon actually good is awesome. So they asked for a little bit more details. He said he can't explain the system further, but he goes on to tease it a bit more. I got to be very vague about it, but one example, it will be visible to the player and they'll know when they see it, I think. Say you have a Pokemon where it's got all the right stats and everything, but there's a personality parameter as well that comes into play in battles, and I'm assuming that's what he means by natures. And it might not be the right personality, so I'm assuming, again, it's natures, right? So you'll breed until you get the right one is what people do currently. But you'll see that there's a system in the game that will fix that for people. Hell yeah. While it's, he didn't say that, I said that. While it's no longer necessary to do, players can still put effort into breeding to come up with the perfect specimen for competitive play. We do think there's value in that effort that players put into it. But at the same time, I think with Sword and Shield, we want to also have a system that makes it a little bit more accessible. Yes. For example, I'm sorry, I know I'm saying that a lot, but you know, as someone who loves competitive Pokemon and understands that the barrier of entry for competitive Pokemon should not be getting the Pokemon. Alright? It should not be that at all. You look at all the other games and you go to a Smash tournament, right? All the characters are unlocked, right? Marvel vs. Capcom, whatever. Street Fighter, they're all there. Pokemon, the barrier of entry is I have to spend time to get these Pokemon, to breed these Pokemon before I can even spend money and go to tournaments, right? Right? Like the me traveling to tournaments and all that stuff should be the quote unquote barrier, and that's it. Me giving $20 or, well, I guess now it's 50. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I don't like about those prices, to be honest, but that's a different story. We do think that the value in that effort, yeah, we said that, but at the same time, I think with Pokemon Sword and Shield, we want to also have a system that makes it a little bit more accessible. For example, if you're bringing a Pokemon over from a previous game into these games, being able to use that specific Pokemon that has a sentimental value to you in the battle system competitively is something we want to try this time. So that is so sick. I've already mentioned it so much, but a lot of times people don't play on Wi-Fi, and I'm just repeating what I'm saying at this point, but it's true though. It's true. I know a lot of my viewers don't even have, you know, systems and whatnot, and obviously, you know, they're expensive, but the same thing, like, people are like, oh, I want to play VGC, but I don't want to breed a team, and I know people will be like, well, they made it easier throughout the years. Yeah, it's still time. Time is money. Time is time in itself, man. If I'm working 30, 40-hour work weeks, man, I'm not trying to come home and take 3 to 5 hours to breed myself a team, and that's even if I get lucky with certain things. Yes, you can obviously minimize the time to do that, and they've made things like that. They've made, obviously, since Black and White, the Everstone lets you pass down things, Synchronize lets you get your nature. Yeah, but what if I'm looking for a stack attacker with a 2 speed IV and a 29 defense IV as well with the lonely nature? There's a lot of, you know, things that still go into that. So this basically makes it easier. And now I don't know about necessarily IVs. And I would hope that since they're obviously caring about competitive, which is so awesome to see, they do obviously care about competitive, and we've seen that throughout the years. Every single time they nerf something. Now, unfortunately, it always takes a full generation for them to nerf something. I'll give you the example. Back in VGC, was it 2016? It might have been 2016, 2015 or 2016. I think top 8 was all like Mega Kangaskhan's and Mega Salamences. And they decided, I don't know which year it was. I don't think it was 2016 because I think that's the year that Wolf won. But they decided, yeah, we're nerfing the 8 abilities. So we're nerfing Aerial Aid, we're nerfing Parental Bond, we're nerfing this. Cool, they do that. Oh, swag play? You want to try and do that? Nah, we nerfed it. Dark types can't swagger dark types. Ooh, Thunder Wave? Oh, that looks kind of nasty. Let's make that 90% accurate. You see what I'm saying? And they also, like, they definitely do pay attention. It takes them a long time, and I think that's one of the issues of Pokemon. And again, I'll talk a little bit about that too in another video, most likely. But they obviously are starting to care more and more about competitive play, and I love that. Obviously, a dream for me would be that they care about competitive singles in a sense, and I would be so fine as if they started with battle spot singles. You know, you bring 6, you pick 3 in a format, and then eventually it becomes 66. Obviously, that is a long way to go, but as a competitive player and as someone who cares about competitive Pokemon, I think this is absolutely awesome. To you who has spent maybe hours getting your shiny, and to me who was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that, like, type of thing. I mean, granted, I'm doing a cage lock right now, but the odds are way lower. higher. The odds are higher to get a shiny. So plus I get to work with Dan, which is why I love that. But this is so sick. And again, I'm not sure if there's a little bit more information. Let me actually go to his Twitter real quick. All 18 types will be featured in the gym. Ooh, that's pretty cool. There are 18 different types of gyms in the story, and depending on the version, which gyms are in the minor league, that's something I don't need. I love what Zhang said. The biggest barrier of entry to competitive Pokemon is the time it takes to train a team. This is a huge step forward in making the process more pain-free and has a lot of positive implications for the scene. I'll definitely try to make a video on training the VGC team in-game, and again, I'll most likely be doing the same. Obviously, they did some things with this, but yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. This is so sick. This is absolutely amazing. This is what I want. The ideal situation for me, and I don't think we'll get it with Sword and Shield, but whatever's next or maybe going forward is I can open up, I can go into my game, go into my box, and they have basically what is essentially a team builder, right? They have what is essentially a team builder, and I say, hey, I feel like using what's in the game right now? Aegislash. I feel like using Aegislash. Alright. Well, I don't have an Aegislash. Or I do have an Aegislash, but that boy is bold natured. Oh, it's okay, man. Make him adamant. Cool. I make him adamant. It's like, oh, but it has zero defense IVs. That's fine, bro. Make it 31. No big deal. This is the ideal situation for me, where they just adopt this type of team builder type of thing going forward. But obviously, I'm sure we're a ways away from that. But this is the next step towards that. So, guys, let me know your thoughts. I'm super excited about what this means for competitive, and what it means for, again, for the people that play on Showdown. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, if y'all play on Showdown, you don't care. But for, you know, little Timmy, right, who's getting into competitive Pokemon, and he's like, oh, okay, why does my Mewtwo keep getting outsped by my dude's Salamence? I thought this was faster always. I saw pokeaimMD use Mega Salamence and got bopped by an Ice Beam from Mewtwo. What's going on? And he's like, oh, okay, I'm a relaxed nature. This is some trash. Wait, let me change that real quick. Bop. Next time he battles, gonna be able to Ice Beam that Salamence. He gonna feel some power. That boy, little Timmy, just leveled up. That man is getting into competitive Pokemon, and he's gonna leave a like on my video. And we get good, and you guys should too. But yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts. Feel free to subscribe, leave a like. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.